Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Portrait. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, as we are working on the showcase of the independents, we're going to showcase 31 different independent companies here on Robert's Portrait Show throughout the month of January. Next up, we have Revolution Pro Wrestling, RevPro. RevPro is actually out of the UK. It is out of Sittingbourne, Kent, England, the UK. It's one of the independent companies over there. I do follow them. Have followed them for years. In 2022, they had 35 shows, 243 matches, 213 men's and 30 women's. They are also associated with New Japan Pro Wrestling. A lot of the young lions will go to RevPro on excursion, and then they will move on to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then sometimes in NJPW Strong and AEW and some other companies in the U.S. as well. Their champions as of right now, the RevPro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion is Great-O-Khan. The RevPro Undisputed British Cruiserweight Champion is Robbie X. The RevPro Undisputed British Tag Team Champions are the Greedy Souls, Brendan White and Danny Jones. The RevPro Undisputed British Women's Champion is Alex Windsor. The Southside Women's Champion, which is a company that merged with RevPro, and they kept one of the titles. They've actually done unification titles with the rest of them. They kept the Southside Women's title, and Dani Luna, she is currently the Southside Women's Champion. When I go through the matches here, they were 24 matches. Now, I've been doing 22. They were 24 4-star or higher matches. So I'm going to go ahead and run through all those. Again, like I've said in some of the other videos, 4-star matches, there's not one better than the other. There's all 4-star matches. 4 1/4, 4 1/2. There are actually going to be 3 5-star matches on here. Throughout 2022, one of these was talked about. One of these was not. There was one last year. Okay, so one of these was talked about, one wasn't, and then the other one, I don't recall ever seeing anything online about it. I don't even know if too many people actually rated some of these matches. So we're going to run down. It's going to be the 24 best matches of RevPro in 2022, 4-star or higher. First up, we have from the show High Stakes, January 29th of 2022, we have Gabriel Kidd versus Francisco Akira. Gabriel Kidd getting the victory. I gave it 4-star. Next up, from May 1st, Unfinished Business, the RevPro Undisputed British Cruiserweight Champion, Michael Oku versus Shota Umino. Shota Umino is actually one of the young lions from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's on excursion for RevPro. He faced Michael Oku for the Cruiserweight title. Michael Oku retained the title. I gave it 4-star. Next up, from RevPro Live in London 62 on June 5th. So some of their shows will have titles like Unfinished Business, High Stakes, but some of them also are like Live in London 62, Live in London this number, Live in Southampton, etc. like that. If you go on their app and on their website, you can get the entire library for $8.49 a month. What I'll do, I'll get it for a month, watch what I can, and then I will cancel it and then go back to it a couple months later, watch what I can, and toward the end of the year, like last year, I made sure I had it in December so I could finish up all the shows. So next up, Live in London 62 on June 5th. We had Gabriel Kidd, another young lion. Gabriel Kidd is actually an interesting wrestler to me. He was in RevPro. He was in British Wrestling with Defy and some other companies. He went to the New Japan Dojo, became a young lion, and now he's on his way back up. And so he's on an excursion in the UK, facing Mark Davis, one half of Aussie Open. Gabriel Kidd did get the victory here, but it was a 4-star match. Now, because Mark Davis was in a singles match at the same show, Live in London 62 on June 5th, His tag team partner Kyle Fletcher was also in a singles match against Ricky Knight Jr. Ricky Knight Jr. is one hell of a talented wrestler that nobody's talking about. RKJ is one of the best wrestlers in the world that no one knows about. And I'm hoping videos like this will get people to tune in and check out some of his stuff, and he can get booked in the US, booked in the UK, booked in New Japan, and get on the bigger stage so people realize how great a talent he is. He beat Kyle Fletcher here in a 4-star match. You'll hear more of Ricky Knight Jr. later in this video. On August 20th, at the 10th anniversary show on day 1, it was a 2-day show, for the Red Pro Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship, we had champion Luke Jacobs versus Francisco Akira. Luke Jacobs got the victory, retained his title in a 4-star match. On day 2 of the 10th anniversary show on August 21st, we had Speedball Mike Bailey taking on Leon Slater. If you've watched any of the GCW stuff here lately I've done, Leon Slater has had a few shows on there. This kid, 17 years old, like Nick Wayne, super hell talented like Nick Wayne, going against a guy like Speedball Mike Bailey. Whew, this was striking versus Ariel, and it was a 4-star classic. Mike Bailey won. Next up, we had from live in Southampton 20 on October 9th for the Red Pro Undisputed British World Heavyweight Championship. We had champion Ricky Knight Jr. going up against Gabriel Kidd. Ricky Knight Jr. getting the victory. I gave it 4-star. Next up, we have Red Pro Live in London 66 from October 23rd. We had Leo Rush versus Robbie X. Leo Rush getting the victory. I gave it 4-star. Next up, we had from December 17th, Uprising 2022. We had Zack Sabre Jr. He's been on excursion a few times, and he'll go over to the UK from New Japan and wrestle some as well. Going against Leon Slater. That's the second Leon Slater match that's been on here. Going up against a mat technician like Zack Sabre Jr. Not a chance in hell. But Zack Sabre Jr. is so freaking talented. 4-star match here, him getting the victory here. The next two matches will actually come from the high stakes show on January 29th. We had, once again, Ricky Knight Jr. going up against Luke Jacobs. Ricky Knight Jr. getting the victory, 4.25-star match. Then, also from high stakes, we had the Red Pro Undisputed British World Tag Team Championships on the line. We had champions the Sunshine Machine, Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper, versus Crowns Up, Aussie Open, part of United Empire. The Sunshine Machine got the best of them in a 4.25-star match. Number 13 on the list, I believe here, got it backwards on my screen, we had from Epic Encounter on May 22nd for the Red Pro Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship, champion Michael Oku versus Connor Mills. Two up-and-coming stars of British wrestling here. Michael Oku retained his Cruiserweight title, 4.25. Next up, we had from June 23rd, Summer Sizzler. Once again, the Red Pro Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship on the line. This time, Michael Oku facing Luke Jacobs. Luke Jacobs getting the victory here and becoming British Cruiserweight Champion and winning it in a 4.25-star match. Also from Summer Sizzler on July 23rd, we had the Velocities, Jude London and Paris Del Silva versus Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. The Velocities getting the victory, 4.25-star match. Next up, from August 20th, the Red Pro 10th Anniversary Show, Day 1. We actually had the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team titles on the line. Champions Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, versus Destination Everywhere, Connor Mills and Michael Oku. Yes, we had these two gentlemen facing each other at Epic Encounter in a 4.25-star match as a team versus Aussie Open. Aussie Open got the victory, retained them tag titles, but it was 4.25-star match. Once again, we had Michael Oku and Connor Mills facing off in an Uprising on December 17th. Michael Oku getting the victory there as well. Once again, 4 1/4 star match. Those two guys are just so talented. All right, with 8 left in the top 24 matches of 2022. Next up, we had from Live in London, 61, May 8th, we had a 6-man tag. We had, not a 6-man, a regular tag match, regular tag team match here. We had Destination Everywhere, Connor Mills, Michael Oku, teaming up versus the United Empire and Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis, Aussie Open. Aussie Open got the victory, 4 1/4 star match. There was a rematch at Live in Sheffield on July 10th. Aussie Open and Destination Everywhere. Once again, Aussie Open got the victory, 4 1/2 star match. All right, as we got 6 left here, we have on August 20th, Rev Pro 10th Anniversary Show, Day 1. We have the Rev Pro British World Heavyweight Champion at the time, Will Ospreay versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Will Ospreay retained, 4 1/2 star match. Next up, from December 17th, Rev Pro Uprising, Will Ospreay versus Tomohiro Ishii. Yeah, there's quite a number of Japan guys that will come to Rev Pro and just work out and kind of have some matches there. But Will Ospreay versus Ishii in Rev Pro Uprising. Will Ospreay got the victory, 4 1/2 star match. All right. Next up, we have Rev Pro 10th Anniversary, Day 2, August 21st. We have the Cruiserweight, British Cruiserweight Championship on the line. We have champion Lou Jacobs versus GCW's Tony Deppen. Lou Jacobs retained. I gave this match 4 3/4 star match. This match was freaking awesome. I knew Lou Jacobs had it in him. I did not know Tony Deppen had a match of this quality in him. It was just unbelievable. The next 3 matches are all 5-star classics. High Stakes 2022, January 29th of 2022. The Rev Pro Undisputed British World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Champion Will Ospreay versus Michael Oku. On January 9th of 2022, one of the best matches of the year happened with Will Ospreay, Michael Oku, 5 stars. Boom, 5 stars. What is sad about professional wrestling, there are some matches you hear about. There are some matches you go to websites, immediately you find results, you see things about it. I never saw this match anywhere. At the end of this match, Will Ospreay called out CM Punk, and nobody really talked about it because no one saw it. Next up, we had from Epic Encounter, May 22nd, a tag team match. This was part of the trio of matches between Aussie Open and the Velocities. Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis. The Velocities, June London and Paris Del Silva. A 5-star tag team match with Aussie Open getting the victory. Aussie Open is one of the greatest tag teams that most people don't know who they are. Yeah, they've got some talk on AEW here recently, in this last year, and they've done a little bit in New Japan Strong. But other than that, Aussie Open's been damn good since 2018. And then the very best match, number 5-star match. Again, these 3 5-star matches, you can go 1, 2, 3, and any of them is number 1, number 2, or number 3. I actually think this was the number 1 match from Rev Pro in 2022. It was from the 10th Anniversary Show, Day 2, for the British World Heavyweight Championship. We had champion Will Ospreay versus Ricky Knight Jr. I'm a big Will Ospreay fan. I talk about Will Ospreay a lot here on this channel. Ricky Knight Jr., I'm a big fan of his as well. I've tweeted him. He was talking about bookings. I tweeted a list of companies of people he needs to go wrestle in the United States and go work for. This is one of those wrestlers that he's a diamond in the rough. Ricky Knight Jr. needs people to talk about him and see his matches. I implore you, anybody who wants to check out great professional wrestling, go get Rev Pro. Go get it, $8.49 a month. Watch some of these shows. Watch the 10th anniversary show. Watch both high stakes shows of 2022. Watch Epic Encounter. Watch Uprising. Watch those shows. You'll get some of the greatest matches of the year, not just in Rev Pro, of professional wrestling. All right. So as we are doing the Showcase of the Independents, this is our first British company here, Rev Pro. Revolution Pro Wrestling out of the United Kingdom. Definitely check out their stuff. They have stuff on YouTube as well. Go to the YouTube channel. Matter of fact, I want to say on their YouTube channel, I think is the High Stakes show. Maybe it was on the year before last. Let me take a look here. Hang on one second. Let's see. I have everything saved in bookmarks, so all these websites I go to. Alright, so they have some previews. They have a preview of it, some of their shows here. They have a few, looks like they have a couple matches. Michael Oku versus Connor Mills at Uprising. That's 2 minutes of that's on there. I thought they had some full shows on here from the past. They got Destination Everywhere versus the Young Guns. Luke Jacobs is part of the Young Guns. They also wrestle in Progress as well. So they got Kyle Fletcher versus Ethan Allen. It's a free match on here from the Southampton 14 a few years ago. So yeah, go on their YouTube page. You can check out some of their stuff. Osprey versus RKJ at Road to High Stakes. I thought there was a few years ago, a full show on here last year. Yeah, it looks like they got pieces of shows on here. So yeah, you can definitely go check out some of their matches and see some highlights. It's at Red Pro on YouTube. Definitely follow them and watch their stuff. As always, we're going to continue the Showcase Independence here, Revolution Pro Wrestling. As always, thanks for watching the Rubber Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.